Hello friends, today we will see how to install Sass. Let's open the VS Code editor. So first of all we will create index.html in order to write our HTML code. Now let's create a directory named CSS in order to write our CSS. Now we have to create another directory which is JS. If we required any JavaScript, then we have to write in JS directory. Now let's come to the index.html. Index.html, let's write the syntax of index.html. So this is the basic syntax of HTML. Now let's change the title. Today we are learning how to install Sass. Now let's create an unordered list. Inside unordered list we have to create 4 list items. Inside list item, let's say this is list 1, this is list 2, this is list 3, and this is list 4. Now let's see the output with the help of open with live server. So here is the output. So you can see you are getting a list of items. Now let's add some CSS. In order to add some CSS, first of all we have to link our CSS file. So let's link our CSS file with our HTML with the help of link href. We have to provide the reference. The reference is css/index.css. We have to the relation. Here the relation is a style sheet. Now let's write the CSS code. So inside CSS directory we have to create another directory. We have to create another file, and the name of the file is index.scss. Here we are writing Sass, which will compile and it will create CSS file. So let's write some Sass code. So first of all let's write body selector. Here is the body selector. Let's provide the background. Let's provide the background as aqua. Now let's see the output index.html. We have created index.css. Now you can see the output in the web browser. So you are seeing that our background is still as it is. There is no change in the background because we have linked the CSS file and we haven't linked the Sass file. So first of all we have to compile the Sass file in Sass file so that it will create index.css, and that index.css will be used in our web browser because our web browser understands CSS only. That's why. For this we have to install live Sass compiler. So let's go to the extension and let's write live Sass compiler. Here is live Sass compiler. So you can install live Sass compiler from here. So we have installed the Sass compiler before, that's why you need to. Now we have installed the live Sass compiler. Now you can see here is was Sass. With the help of was Sass you can convert the Sass file into CSS file, and this is the main CSS file. This is the CSS file which our browser understands, and it will use the CSS file only. Now let's see the output in the web browser. Now you will see the background color is changed. Now let's write some more Sass code. Seeing here it is showing watching. So watching Sass means it will directly convert the CSS. It will directly convert the Sass into CSS. there is no need to recompile the size file. Now let's see the output in the web browser. You are seeing the list item, the color of the list item also got changed. Now let's write some more Sass code. Now you are seeing the color of the list item. This is how you can compile Sass in VS Code editor. Now let's say we are working on Sublime or Notepad. Let's see how we can compile our Sass file into CSS in Sublime or Notepad. So first of all, you have to go to Chrome and you have to install Node. First of all, you have to install Node. Let's go to Node. In the first link, you have to click on the first link. So here is latest version for the Windows. So you have to install long-term support, and you'll after installing that, you can check the installation in your command line. So here simply you have to write Node. So if you write Node, you will get the version of Node, means your Node is simply installed perfectly. After installing Node, you have to go to your web browser and you have to search Sass. So you will search Sass, you will get these links. You have to click on install. In install, you will get this thing. You have to copy this thing and you have to go to your terminal and you have to paste it here. Now it will install the Sass compiler. It will take some seconds. Now it is installed. Now let's change directory to desktop, where your directory is present. Now let's change that. Now we have written our code in this directory, so that we have to change our directory. Now we have changed the directory. Now let's go inside the directory. Inside directory, we have to go to CSS directory. So again we have to change directory to CSS. Now we have inside the CSS directory. Inside CSS we have now you are seeing that our Sass compiler is still on. First of all, we have to off the Sass compiler which is open in our VS Code editor in order to use the Sass compiler from the command line. Now let's start the Sass compiler in the command line. So you have to write this code. You have to write this code. This code will start the Sass compiler. Now your Sass compiler is started. Now let's write some code in the VS Code editor. Let's create a div in the body. Let's save the file and let's provide some styling, that is div. Let's provide with 50% height, 200 pixel. Let's provide the color is red. Let's save the file and start and run this command again. Now you'll see your Sass file is compiled, and it will create respective index.css. Now let's see the output. So first of all, we have to save this file and let's go to the command line. Now we have to run this command. Now our Sass file successfully created index.css or respective index.css. Now let's see the output in the web browser. So here is the output in the web browser. We have created a div and we have provided the color. We have provided the background color and it is totally red. Means we have successfully compiled our Sass file into CSS, which is understandable by the browser. Now let's create another div and let's provide a class blue. Let's save the file and let's write some Sass code. So we have created a blue class. We have to provide the background color as blue. We have to provide the width as 30% and we have to provide the height as 200 pixel. Let's save this file. Let's go to the command prompt and let's compile the Sass file. Now our Sass file is compiled successfully. Let's see the output in the web browser. Now a blue box is created with height 30% and width is 200 pixel, 30% of the body selector. First of all, you have to understand this code. So here Sass is the compiler and index.scss is our file, and this colon specifies that we are converting Sass file into index.css. Means it will convert the Sass file into index.css, which is understandable by the browser. Now you are watching that this task is a very hectic task. We have to compile this thing again and again. Now let's see the easier version of this thing. Now let's see the easier version of this code. Simply we have to use watch. When we use watch, we don't need to recompile again and again. Now let's go to the VS Code editor. Let's write some code again. Let's delete the previous things and save the file. Let's create a div. Inside div we have to create 4 divs. That is class is blue, class is red, the next class is aqua, the next class is magenta. Now let's save this file and let's go to the Sass file. Let's go to the red class. Let's provide the background color as red. Let's provide the width is 200 pixel and height is also 200 pixel. Now let's provide blue. This is our blue selector. We have to provide the background color. Let's copy this from here and paste it here. Now the background color is blue. Now simply we have to copy paste this thing 2 times more. Let's say this is aqua and this is magenta. Aqua, this is magenta. Let's save the file and see the output in the web browser. You will get the output. These are the outputs we are getting. Now you are watching that we haven't compiled the Sass file. It will automatically compile. So this is the best use of watch. So when we use watch, it will simply compile the Sass file into a CSS file and we don't need to recompile. Here you are watching that our div are coming in new line because our div is a new line element. That's why new line elements come in the new line and our paragraph. Thanks for watching this video. Please like the video and subscribe the channel for such videos. That's all for today. See you tomorrow.